Hey guys, so back with another video. Today we are covering how you can actually go about researching coins before they go 10 to 100x, because in this course so far we've covered basically like what you want to find in a project, but I haven't really showed you how to find projects in the first place. And just being really honest with you guys, in the start of my journey, it was a lot of, in the trenches time, hundreds of hours, like looking into white papers and websites and all this shit. That's how I used to research. But now a lot of it is just having connections and having a group of researchers who go out there, and basically also having a personal brand where people are just sending you coins where, I get sent a coin at least once every day or two, right? Minimum. And 90% of these coins are terrible. And it's just immediately, no, I'm not going to buy them. But, 5 to 10% of these coins I actually look into. And some of these really good investments I found lately have been from just a friend or a random person just saying, hey, look at this. And I look into it. And within 30 seconds, I can tell pretty quickly if it's going to be good or bad based off of what this person has initially told me. So I figured if I'm going to make a video, which is obviously really important, teaching you guys how to find coins, I can't just say to you, build a brand and have people send you coins and have people do it for you. I have to teach you how to do it. And I think, a big part of why I made this group here is I want to teach you guys how to find coins and how to, what characteristics you need to see before you buy them. Because my thinking is that if I have hundreds of people with my skills and my brain, I have like a little army. You guys can all go out and do the in the trenches stuff, which takes a lot more time, and I don't really have time to do anymore. And then we can all work together to determine if an investment is good or not. Because, for example, when you're doing research into coins, 95% of them are trash. So there's a lot of digging through the dumpster to find the gems. And so if you guys are able to do the 95% for me, and then you send me a list of coins which pass like minimum viable tests, then within 30 seconds I can do my research and I can go, yep, this one's good, nope, this one's shit. Because I can look at a project and I can know pretty quick if I've been given all the key points, if it's a good coin or not. For example, recently I got told about Base God. Someone sent it to me. Actually, 2 people sent it to me. And I looked into it, and within 20 seconds I was sold. I was like, yeah, this thing's fucking great. Like this is what I want to own. And then I bought it pretty quickly after I found it. So, like when you have pattern recognition, which is what I talk about in this course, and you know what you want to see in a coin, it's just about having that put in front of you and you can know very, very quickly. But obviously you guys haven't got to that point yet. Maybe after you've done 1,000 hours of research, you'll get to that point. But for now, you guys have to do the in the trenches work, lots of time spent, looking at all the different coins. No, this one sucks. Yes, this one's good. And I'm going to teach you in this video 2 strategies that you can use to filter through the market to try to make it more efficient on your time to finding coins. So the main strategy that I would recommend for finding coins which are worth owning are coins which I say have outlier price action. So there's thousands of cryptocurrencies. What is one key way to differ between good ones and shit ones? Well, in crypto generally, if a coin has a really nice chart in a market backdrop of everything going down, that's generally almost impossible for that coin to not outperform the market, right? If in a sea of weakness there is something strong, that strong asset is probably going to be the strongest asset going forwards, because if a weak market can't even make it weak, then what happens when the market goes strong? That thing's going to be incredibly strong. And that concept of a couple coins doing really well when the rest of the market shits itself is a really good way for you to find projects worth looking into. So for example, if in the market there's a 10% drop and there's, let's say, 3,000 coins in crypto, 2,800 of these coins went down. They all did the exact same down movement. But there was, let's say, 200 coins which didn't go down much. And then there was actually 10 of those 200 coins which went up, right? That is showing you that a very small percent of the market was a coin which has an underlying strength. It has maybe a really strong community. Maybe it's building something that is really important that's going to come out soon, right? There's something happening with this coin that is showing there is an underlying strength where it doesn't care what the rest of the market is doing. And the whole point of buying an altcoin is to outperform Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana, right? And you're only going to do that in assets which are showing that they are incredibly strong, that they have the potential to do what's called outperformance or outlier price action, where they can do their own thing, right? Think about the best performing coins in crypto. They tend to just do their own thing. And I want to give you an example of this. Casper is a classic example, right? On November 10, Bitcoin in 2022 hit the lowest price point that it ever got to in at least the past few years, right? Let me show you this in live action. So right here. Now, what did Casper do? Well, it was just breaking its all-time high. So isn't it crazy that in a market where everyone thought crypto was dying, right, at this exact bottom, that a coin like Casper was breaking all-time highs? So even though everyone thought crypto was dead, the holders of Casper were so bullish that they were willing to buy prices for this coin, pay prices for the coin that had never been paid before, ever. Isn't that crazy? So that just shows you how strong this Casper coin is. And if you have a look at Casper, in the period from when that happened to now, you can just see how strong it has been as an asset, right? This green circle is where that event happened, and you can see here that it obviously came back down to the same point, but it had just been outperforming this entire bull market, right? It's up like my friend Miggs Tyler in this program. I did a video with him. He talks about how he bought here, right? And he's up 20x. I think it went up to, I think he got an entry lower, but look, like 30x to 50x, when he found the coin back here. That's one of the better performing coins of this bull run, especially given its market cap, at this price range. Like obviously there was $100,000 market cap coins that went up more, but how much could you put into those? You could put solid size into this, and then you could also make a 50x return. So, this is just one example of many, but I think it's a pretty good example to show you how you want to find coins with outlier price action for your long-term investing. Because most coins, they're weak. They just follow Bitcoin. They follow the rest of the market. They're not worth owning. We want to own things that show us that they can outperform the market, that they are going to do their own thing, that they have a really strong community. And I want to relate this back to community again. So when a community is really strong, when they don't want to sell, the community does not care about short-term fluctuations. Oh, Bitcoin's at, it's crashing, crypto's dying, no one cares. We're really bullish on this coin, right? That is a sign of a very, very strong community. And it is these communities shown through outlier price action which you want to be investing into. As you can see, Casper performed really well. So let's go over now the two strategies that I want to teach you for spotting coins with outlier price action. So, there's two parts to this strategy. Basically, just to summarize it again, we want to identify outlier price action so that we can find strong communities with a committed holder base. So step one is find these coins, and then step two is researching into them. So once you've identified a list of coins that are doing their own thing, the next step is to research into them, find out if it's a good project. So how do you find outlier coins? Well, there's two strategies that I can recommend for you. So I made this, by the way, just a heads up, I made this video with my friend Tyler. So he does these two strategies, and he used the strategies in this video I'm going to teach you to find Casper before it went up 30, 50, 40x, depending on your entry point, right? He found Casper when it had just launched using this strategy. Okay, so strategy number one is smaller exchanges, new listing tabs. So there's 4 exchanges which are small, and they list new projects which have been performing really well. So SafeTrade, XEGX, MEXC, and KuCoin. What these exchanges tend to do is they tend to list new layer 1s and AI coins, okay? And they tend to get listed first here. And then obviously as the coin grows, they go to Binance and Coinbase and whatnot. So as I said, the friend I interviewed, he found Casper before it went 50x from the MEXC listing, okay? So I don't think he has the article here, but it basically got listed on MEXC. My friend used this strategy to find it. He saw the coin had outlier price action, so he bought it. Now he's up 50x, okay? Pretty straightforward, right? Let's have a look at some other examples. So Casper also got listed on this exchange called ExegX, and this was at a price of 0.0076. It's now at 0.104, okay? So it's up like 13x. Another example is Alephium. That one got listed on the same exchange, and it's now up about 14x, okay? It went from 16 cents, I don't know, what's it at now? Let's have a look. Alephium, it's now at $2, okay? So it's up like 14x, okay? So that's just two examples, right? These new smaller exchanges, they list new projects. This is your filtering process to, look into them. Now, what is the